So today we are going to cover the topic red blood cells. I believe that all of you are familiar with the topic red blood cells, as you should have studied this in your school. Alright, so first we are going to talk about some descriptions about the red blood cell. So the red blood cells are made by the bone marrow. The bone marrow. Their biological name is arthrocyte. So their biological name is arthrocyte. Alright. They are biconcave discs and their concavity is due to the absence of a nucleus. They are biconcave discs and is due to the absence of a nucleus. These cells also lack mitochondria. So as I have told you that the red blood cells do not have a mitochondria as well. As they do not have a nucleus, they also do not have a mitochondria. Alright, so now I'm going to draw a small structure that will represent the RBC. So this is how they will look like. So that's how RBC will look like. Now the pigment that I am drawing, it's called the haemoglobin. This pigment is inside the RBCs. It's called the haemoglobin. Alright. They are called hemoglobin. Right? They are red. Alright. These cells, the RBCs, are saturated with a special pigmented protein called haemoglobin. These cells are saturated with a special pigmented protein called hemoglobin. Okay. Now let's draw a small structure of how does the hemoglobin looks like and a few details about the hemoglobin. So we are going to draw the outer structure of the hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin is made up of iron. Okay. Hemoglobin is made up of iron. Now, let's write a small equation. Hb plus oxygen. So now we know, you should all know that the RBC, red blood cell, combined with oxygen, so the oxygen is delivered to our body, so it becomes oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin. Hb is an iron containing protein which can bind to oxygen to form a compound called oxyhemoglobin. RBCs are therefore responsible for the transport of oxygen from lungs to every other cell of your body. Right? Therefore, RBCs are therefore responsible for the transport of oxygen from lungs to every other cell of your body. Alright, so now we are going to talk about a few details about the RBCs. So we are going to talk about the life of the RBCs. RBCs have a lifespan about 90 to 120 days. RBCs have a lifespan of 90 120 days. So after 90 to 120 days, they are destroyed by the body and then new RBCs are made. RBCs have an approximate count. So we are going to talk about both the male and the female. Both male and female have different counts of RBCs in their body. For a male, it is 39,000 to 45,000. Right, this is the male. Now female, it varies from 35,000 to 39,000. Alright, here comes the end of the RBCs topic. Alright, here we have done the goblet cells. Alright. Now we are going to talk about neuron. Neuron is a small topic. Now we are going to study neuron in a bit of a detail in our systematic biology. So do not worry about that. This is just an introduction. Right? So these these are the basic structure and functional unit of nervous system. These are the basic structural and functional unit of nervous system. Nervous system. These cells are highly specialized and are responsible for all the electrical communication in the body. These cells are highly specialized and are responsible for all the electrical communication in the body. These cells need the highest amount of energy. These cells need the highest amount of energy. These cells need the highest amount of energy. Alright, so this is what neurons are. Neurons, if you do not know what a neuron is, so when you are touching a hot stove, so you immediately remove your hand from the hot stove. Your neurons are sending signal to your brain to make you remove your hand from the hot stove. Alright, we are going to study this in detail, but not right now, as we are only at basic biology. So let's draw the structure of the neuron, so you may have a better idea of how does a neuron looks like. So these are the synaptic knobs. Alright. So let's start drawing, let's start labeling this now. This is our nucleus. The nucleus is not red, but I am drawing it red. So this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus. Now, I forgot to draw one structure. We will draw it with a different color. This is how it looks like. So what I just draw right now is the dendrites, right? These are the dendrites. Dendrites, alright? These are the dendrites. Now, this entire thing is the cell body. This entire thing is the cell body. This entire thing is cell body. Alright. Now these rods down there, these things right here, this part is the dendrons. So remember, below the dendrites we have dendrons. Below the dendrites we have dendrons. Below the dendrites we have dendrons. Now, as always, this is the cytoplasm. Right, this is the cytoplasm. Now, this is our axon terminus. This is the axon terminal. Axon terminal. Now, forgot to draw another structure, which is neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter plays an important role when the two neurons meet, right? So these are called neurotransmitter. Alright, at last we have this ball-like structure. It's called the synaptic knob. Right, these are the synaptic knobs. So this was the labeling and the structure of the neuron. So that's it for today. The next topic that we are going to do is the sperm. Right, we are going to study the structure of the sperm. Right. We will study the structure of the sperm. First we will draw the structure of the sperm, then we are going to explain every structure and what does it do. Then at last we have the egg. After that, half of the specialized cell structure chapter will be complete. Alright, that's it for today. Allah Hafiz.